In Counter-Strike Global Offensive, there is 5 different roles that you can generally play, and it is very important that you understand what roles fit you best so that when you're looking to join a team inside of the game that you know what roles are, suited to your playstyle and that you can really thrive in, right? So today I'm going to kind of help you understand what roles work for you, what roles maybe aren't the best for you, and we're going to figure out what you can do in order to join a team and make sure that these playstyles are going to fit the team best, right? So first, let's just talk about every role that is in the game, right? Let's go through all of them. And like I said, there's 5. So first one we can talk about is being an entry, right? What is being an entry? It means that you are extremely aggressive and you are spearheading the attack, right? So entries need to be a very aggressive player that know how to take space, okay? So when your team is executing a site, you're running in first and you might die, right? That's just part of being an entry. You might die because you're just running in first, but ideally you're able to draw the crosshairs away. You're able to put yourself in a position where the enemies have to look at you instead of the rest of your team running in, and you can just be very effective doing that. So entries are not scared to die. They're very aggressive players, and believe it or not, this is the misconception I see a lot of people make. They're not dumb players, right? They're not bad, right? Just because you're not going to be throwing as much utility and just because you're running in doesn't make you dumb or bad, right? Good entries know exactly what they need to do to path and make sure that it makes it really hard for the CTs to hold the site. And they're more concerned about the round win than just getting kills. So that's entering. If you're a more aggressive player, I'd say that role is going to fit you, and you can play your play style without having to worry about throwing as much utility and being as much of a supporter. So moving on to the next role, it's actually the complete opposite. Let's talk about lurking. So lurkers inside of Counter-Strike are, like I said, kind of the exact opposite in a way. They're very passive players that lock down the opposite side of the map that their team is working on, right? So if their teammates are working on the A side of the map, the lurker is generally walking through B, holding space. 1, he's making sure that the CTs aren't aggressing through and flanking his team, but 2, he's also trying to flank the other team and find gaps and holes that he can abuse, right? And where it gets kind of tricky is that lurkers could actually be an entry technically if they find the space and get their team to come back. So if you're lurking, you almost need to be able to be an entry as well. So yeah, you just got to be extremely crafty, slow sometimes, and patient as a lurker, right? And you need to be able to use your information to give your team a picture of what's going on, right? So usually the lurkers, you see some very mechanically skilled players that are extremely smart, right? They know these timings, they know when they should be lurking out and doing their thing. So yeah, that's lurking. Very cool rule. Let's move on to the next one, and that's going to be support, right? Now, if you're going to play support on a team, pretty much what you're doing is setting up your teammates to succeed, right? You're setting them up. You're kind of in the back, in the middle, and you're just throwing utility, right? You're flashing for your teammates to fight an angle. You're smoking off things. You're trading your teammates out, right? You're not really the point man. You're more of the person in the middle of the pack that's just there to trade and make sure that the round's going smoothly and you're not getting multi-killed, right? Supports are very important, and they make the life of the team very easy when they can throw good utility that sets up the rest of the guys. So yeah, I mean, if that's something that you like to do, if you're not really a super aggressive player, a super passive player, then supporting might be for you because you just you're good with utility and you know what you need to be throwing to make sure your boys are winning. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for support. Let's move on to the next role, and that is going to be the IGL. Now, what does IGL mean? It means in-game leader. So the IGL is going to be responsible for all of your strats, all of your, plans on the round and what you should be doing. The IGL is going to, kind of be the leader, right? He's the leader, in-game leader. So he's going to tell you guys, hey, we're doing this round. I want you to go here. I want you to work this side of the map. And he's kind of giving direction to the rest of the players so that they can activate within their roles, right? And then the IGL at the, mid to end part of the round may be like, okay, we're going to hit the B bomb site, right? We're going to throw these nades and hit this site. And, he gives that direction that makes it so easy for the rest of the team. And you need a strong IGL in order to, have a team function correctly. So the type of players that this would suit is very smart players, very, very, very smart players. If you like watching demos, this would suit you as well. If you're very confident in yourself, IGLing is great because you need to be confident in order to make these decisions and plans in the round. And very bold, confident and bold. You got to be smart. These are the traits that you need to have if you want to be an IGL. And You gotta be good with words as well. You gotta be able to direct your team, and you gotta be able to tell them exactly what you want them to do at times. So that's IGLing. Let's move on to our last role, which is an opper, right? So if you're an opper, this is probably one of the most basic ones to explain. You're just the guy with the sniper, right? You're just doing your job. You're buying the op as much as you can. You're having your teammates drop you the op as much as you can, and you're just making sure that you're floating around the map. And you can also support your team. You can be an entry. You're not gonna really lurk with the op. That's not as good, but you could IGL, support, an entry while you're opping too, right? So it just depends on the round. It depends on your team. But in order to be an opper, guys, you need to be a player that has very, very high mechanical skill, right? You need to be a player that can hit very good shots, has extremely good aim, and you need to be able to be extremely smart, right? And why do I say this? You might be like, bro, the op's easy. Why do you need to be smart to use it? You have to be so smart to use the op because you only get one shot, right? You get one shot. That's it, one shot. So you need to be strategic, right? You need to have a strategic mind in order to be an opper, because you need to know where to position, when to peek, when you should be doing these things, or you're going to look like a horrible player, right? The op can be one of the best guns in the games, and it can be also one of the worst guns in the game, just depending on how you utilize it, right? You don't have that 30 bullet spray down that you can rely on if you miss the first shot. So yeah, opping is very rewarding and hard. And yeah, like I said, the traits that you have to have is you have to be strategic, you have to be smart, you have to be patient, and yeah, you got to have good aim. Those, if that's you, then you can be an opper. Now, let's talk about when you're searching for a team, what you should do, right? Now, I don't want you to choose one role, right? I don't want you to be like, I'm a lurker, I'm a pack player. I want you to be able to be flexible, because sometimes the opportunities you're going to receive are going to be too good for you not to take them. Now, when you're first starting in the scene, you don't even probably know what you're going to end up being, right? When I first started playing, I was a rifler, right? I was just a support player. And now I'm an opper, and I'm climbing the scene as an opper, right? So when you first start playing and you first join your, first open team, and you're brand new in the scene, don't get too stuck up on what your role is. Do it as well as you can, but at the end of the day, it might not be the one that you are best at. And you're only going to find that out through experience and playing on teams. So the worst thing you can do is put yourself in a box when it comes to what role you want to be, and limit your options as far as teams go and connections go, right? So if you think that you can only be an opper, change your mindset right now. If you've never been on a team in your life and you think you can only op, stop that right now. Understand that you need to be open to being able to rifle. You need to be open to being able to lurk, right? The one thing I would say though is, do not try to force yourself to IGL. If you have no experience, if you have no, if you don't have the best understanding of the game, which most of you do if you're just trying to join a team, do not try to IGL, please. Do not. Whatever you do, join a team that has an established IGL that ideally has more experience than the rest of the players, right? If your IGL has more experience than you and can help you through these rounds, it's going to teach you a lot, right? So don't try to join a team in IGL, because that's the worst thing you can do. Other than that, guys, I think that's pretty much it. And now you kind of have a little bit of a plan on what you should be doing and how to succeed when you find yourself in these roles and trying to join a team to slot into. So good luck. Let me know if any of you guys need help finding a team. If you need help, finding resources for that, I got you guys. But yeah, hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, another daily video. I'm here for you guys. But yeah, have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace out. I'll catch you later.